Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, which name is Analytics Pro. In the previous tutorial guys, we have studied about some text functions. I hope now you guys are cleared with all the text functions of SQL, that how we can use text functions in SQL. And now in today's tutorial guys, we will talk about some more advanced function in SQL, which called Windows functions. And we will learn how these functions are useful in day-to-day projects. So before start this window function guys, we need to understand two clauses. The first clause name is over clause and the next clause name is partition by clause. So let's begin our class. So our first clause is over clause. The over clause helps us in preserving the row wise data along with the partitioning of the data and applying the window function in SQL Server. There is no parameter guys of this over clause. You simply need to write over and bracket start and bracket close. And we need to keep one thing in mind, this preserving the row wise data. And now let's apply over clause in SQL. So let's jump into the SSMS screen. Here we have entered in SSMS. And now guys, let me quickly open the same table, which name is sales. So I'll simply write select star from our table name is sales. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So let's suppose guys, if I want to check the count of any of the column, it could be names, gender, product, country and so on. So with the help of count function guys, which is an aggregator function, we can easily fetch the count of any of the column. So let's apply a simple count function here, which is a aggregate function. So to use this count function guys, you need to start your query with select. And after that, you can take any column name. And now guys, here I will write my function name, which is count bracket start, and under expression parameter guys, I can take any of the column from this sales table. So I am taking names column here under this expression parameter. So here I'll simply take names and bracket close. And finally I will give this alias to this query. Let's say as names underscore counts. And now I will simply write my table name from sales. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So in this way, we can check the count of any of the column. But it is not preserving the row wise data. It is just only reflecting the count of names column, which is 59. And if you want to display row wise count guys, so you need to use over clause over there, which preserving the row wise data. So let's learn how to use over clause. So let me write new query from scratch. So firstly guys, I will start my query with select command. And here I want to see only selected column. So I will write my column's name here. Let's say names, comma products, comma sales. So I want to fetch only these three columns. And now I'll put it comma. And here I want to see the count of names. So what I will do, simply I will use count function over here. And under count guys, I will take my column name, which is names, and bracket close. And here I will use over clause because I want to preserve row wise data. So here I will simply use over clause. And there is no parameter of over clause. So you simply need to start bracket and close this bracket. And if you want to write any alias here, so simply use as keyword and write count underscore names. And finally we need to write the table name, which is sales. So this is the query guys, which I have used with this over clause. And now let me select this query and hit execute. And here we guys can see, we can clearly see the count of names with preserving each and every row. So in this context, you guys can use this over clause, this preserving the row wise data. And now let's talk about one more clause. So our next clause name is over partition by clause. A partition by clause is used to partition rows of a table into groups. It is useful when we have to perform a calculation on individual rows of a group using other rows of that group. It is always used inside over clause. This thing keep in mind guys, it is always used inside in over clause. And the partition formed by partition clause are also known as window. So here we guys can clearly see, here I have firstly used over clause, then partition by, and here we have taken any of the column name. So let's apply the same thing here under this SSMS. And now here guys, I will use partition by clause on the basis of this names column because I want to see the count of this Ashish Kumar, Rahul Sharma and so on. So on the basis of names column, let's apply partition by clause here. So here under this over clause guys, you simply need to write your clause name, which is partition by. And here you need to define the column. So I want to make the partition on the basis of names column here. So I'll simply write my column name, which is names. And now let me select this query again and hit execute. So here we guys can see now here result is changed. It is displaying the 13 count, which is the count of Anjiti Roy. And now if I scroll it down guys, so here we can see the total count of Ashish Kumar is 2. You guys can clearly see it here. So it is preserving row wise data as per the partition of names. And if you guys check more records, so here we can see this Avinash Banerjee is written here 4 times. So it returning the number 4. So in this way you guys can use this over clause with partition by. I hope now you guys are clear with the concept of over and partition by. So you guys can also apply on other columns and practice this over and over partition by clause. And now let's jump into the window functions. So our first window function is rank. This function is a window function used in SQL Server that calculates the rank of each row of the result set, and they are also skipped value if the preceding results are identical. So let's understand how we can use this rank function in SQL. And the same function guys I have also explained in Power BI tutorials. So you guys can follow DAX expression playlist where I have explained all the DAX functions of Power BI in detail. But today we are covering SQL topics, so let's understand how we can apply rank function in SQL. So let's jump into this SSMS screen. So before using this rank function guys, let me remove all the query from here. And now let me select this query and open this sales table. So firstly guys, we need to decide on which column we want to provide the ranking. So I want to provide ranking on the basis of this sales column. That means my highest value returns at first rank, my second highest value return as second rank, my third highest value return third rank, and so on. So in this way I need to calculate the rank on the basis of this sales column. So let's learn how to use rank function in SQL. So we need to start our query with select command. And after select guys, we need to decide the column's name which we want to see. So let's suppose I want to see names, comma, products and sales. And now put it comma. And finally guys, you need to apply rank function here. And there is no parameter of rank function, so you simply need to start this bracket and close this. And finally you need to use over clause. So over clause we have already studied it, preserving the row wise data. And as you already know guys, there is no parameter of over clause. So in between these bracket guys, we need to use order by clause so that we can sort our data from largest to smallest. So I will simply use order by. And finally we need to write the column name which we want to sort. So we are applying ranking on the basis of this sales column. So I will simply write my column name here, which is sales. And finally guys, I will write here descending because I want to sort my data from largest to smallest. And now let's give alias to this query. Let's say as ranking. And last but not the least guys, finally you need to enter the table name which is sales. So this is the column name guys which I have taken here under this order by clause, and this is the table name which is sales. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So here we guys can see the moment I click execute, it provides ranking in a separate column. The highest value return as rank 1, the second highest return rank 2, third highest return rank 3, and so on. And if you observe one more thing here guys, if you have the same sales, it returns the same ranking of each and every sale. But the question is that guys, is this a skip ranking or dense ranking? The same concept we have already studied in Power BI. Skip ranking skip the sequential number, but dense ranking do not skip any sequential number. It assign the same ranking of same sales, but sequential number will not be break there. So this is a skip ranking guys. Here you can clearly see after number 6 rank, it assigned 10 because it skipped 7, 8, 9 and then 10. In a similar way guys, again you can see it jumped into this 14. It skipped sequential number like 11, 12, 13 and 14. And if you guys wants to see dense ranking, so with the help of dense rank function guys, you guys can see the dense ranking. So let's apply dense rank function here. So what I will do guys, let me copy this query and paste it here. And simply I will use my function name which is dense underscore rank. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So in this case guys, you can clearly see it is not skipping the sequential number, although we have the same sales. Like after 6 rank guys, it's returned 7. So if we have the same sales, it returned 7 to each. And if you check other records guys, it jump into this 8. So that means dense rank will not skipping any sequential number. And now guys, let's understand the definition of dense rank. So here you guys can read the definition. This is also a window function that display the number of given row starting at 1 and following the order sequence of the window function with identical values receiving the same result. Unlike the rank function, there are no skipped values. So basically guys, rank function skipped sequential values if we have the same sales. But if you guys using dense rank, it will not skip sequential value although we have the same sales. It will display the same rank of same values and jump into the next sequential number. I hope now you guys are clear with the concept of rank versus dense rank. And now let's talk about one more window function which name is row number. This function is a SQL ranking function that assigns a sequential rank number to each new record in a partition. This row number function guys, it's not skipped any number or no identical value received the same ranking. Only one row assign a one rank. So let's learn how we can use this row number function in SQL. So this time guys, let's apply row number. So now let me select this query and make copy. And now let me paste it here. So let's do some changes here under this query. So instead of dense rank guys, here I'll change the function name which is row underscore number. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So here we guys can see it assigns the unique ranking of each row. There is no repetition, there is no skipped values. You guys can clearly see it here. Every number is unique. So I hope now you guys are clear with rank, dense rank and row number. And now guys, what we will do, we will create a one query and apply all the three functions in single query. So what I will do guys, let me simply copy this function. And now I'll put it comma here under this function and paste it here. So this is my rank query guys. This is my dense rank query. So here I will change the alias. Let's say dense underscore rank. And from here guys, let me also copy this row number function. And now I'll put it comma here. And here I'll paste this row number function. And let's also change the alias. Let's say row underscore numbers. And now let me delete all these query from here. So what we have done it here guys, I have used all the three functions in a single query. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So now you guys can see this is the rank function, this is the dense rank and this is the row number. Rank function skip the sequential number if we have the same sales. Dense rank do not skip the sequential number but it assigns the same ranking to the same value. But row number guys, it assigns the unique value of each and every row although we have the same sales. So if interviewer asks the difference of rank, dense rank and row number guys, so in this way you guys can explain in the front of interviewer. And now let's jump into the another window function. So our next window function name is Ntile. Ntile function is a window function that distributes a row of an ordered partition into a predefined number of roughly equal group. I know guys, you are not clear with this definition. So once we see this practical guys, your Ntile function doubt will be clear. Basically guys, Ntile function distribute the rows. So let's understand the practical guys and see how we can use Ntile function in SQL. So firstly guys, let me remove this query from here. And firstly guys, let me select this table with this select star from sales query. And now let's hit execute. So I will simply fetch only two columns like names and products. So I'll simply write select names, comma, products. And after comma guys, I will simply use this function name, which name is Ntile. And now let me start this bracket and close this. And here under these brackets guys, you need to define the numbers. So firstly I am taking number 2 because I want to distribute my data on the basis of 2 partition. And here I will simply use over clause over here. And the same order by clause I will use here under this Ntile function. So I want to make order by this sales column on the basis of descending order. And now let me give alias. Let's say as distribution. So here I will use short form of distribution. And finally I will write my table name from sales. So now let me select this query and hit execute. So see guys, it returning 111 in each and every cell. And now if I scroll it down, so here you guys can see 222. So basically it divides all the row into 2 parts. And if you put it 3 here guys, so now you guys can see the result would be different. It will divide your data into 3 parts, like some row returning 1 guys, the other returning 2 and the rest returning 3. So it divides 59 by 3. In a similar way, if you take 4 here guys, so here you guys can see the different result. Few values are 1, few values are 2 and 3 and 4. I hope now you guys are clear with this Ntile function. Basically it distributes the row as per the total number of rows. So you can take any number here and distribute your data. And now let's talk about next window function. So our next window function name is Rowsbetween. There is no such specific function of Rowsbetween. But with the help of Rowsbetween guys, we can calculate cumulative values. So let's first understand the definition. The Rowsbetween preceding and current row clause allows you to define a window frame for a window function like sum, specifying how many rows before and after the current row should be included in the calculation. So let's learn how we can apply Rowsbetween function in SQL. So let me first open this table, select star from sales, and I want to see the cumulative value. So the same cumulative calculation guys we have also learnt in Power BI. So let's learn how we can use cumulative calculation in SQL with the help of this Rowsbetween function. So let me write this query from scratch, and now let me start with this query from select command again. And here I want to fetch names column, comma, order date, comma, and sales, comma, and finally I will write my function name which is sum. So I want to make the cumulative value on the basis of this sales column. So under sum function guys, I am using this sales column and bracket close. And here I will write over clause, and under over clause I will simply use order by. And here under this order by guys, I will take the order date column. So now let me write the column name which is order date. And now we need to use two keywords, preceding and current row. So let me back to the definition again. So these two keywords we need to use over here under that query. Here preceding means the previous row and the current row means the current row. And before using this preceding and current row, we need to use Rowsbetween function. So I will simply write Rowsbetween. And here we need to add the number, let's say 1. And here I will write my keywords, preceding and current row and bracket close. Here preceding one means guys 1 row before, and if I put it 2 here, so that means 2 rows before. And now let me give alias to this query, let's say as cum_total. And finally we need to write the table name with from keyword which is sales. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So here you guys can see it's returning the cumulative total. So let's check this calculation with calculator. Let's say 4000 plus 1386 is equal to 17,086. So that is the cumulative total which we can clearly see it here. So in this way you can calculate this cumulative total with the help of this Rowsbetween function. So I hope now you guys are clear with this Rowsbetween function, that how we can use Rowsbetween to calculate cumulative value. And now let's talk about one more window function. So our next function name is Percentrank. This Percentrank function returns the relative rank for each value. Ranking can also be applied to groups partition with the rows. The values returned by Percentrank are from 0 to 1. Percentrank is similar to the cum distinct function. So let's learn how we can use this Percentrank in SQL, and we will also understand how this calculation works. So let's go back to the SSMS screen, and now let me delete this query. So we need to write this query just like a rank function. So I will simply start with this select command, and now I will write the column name which I want to fetch, like names, products, sales, that's it. And finally I will use my function name which is %_rank and bracket start and bracket close. And finally I will use over clause, and under over clause guys I will simply use order by clause, and I want to make the ranking on the basis of sales. And here I'll write descending and bracket close. And let me give alias to this %_rank. And finally I need to write the table name which is sales with from keyword. And now let me select this query and hit execute. So here we guys can see it returning some ranking in the form of 0 and 1. By default guys, the highest rank it's return 0 and the least value it return 1. So the question is that how this percent calculate. So before understand this Percentrank function guys, I need to apply rank function. So what I will do guys, let me copy this query and paste it here, and here I will simply use rank function. And let me also change the alias from here ranking. And now I'll put it comma here. So these two functions I have applied together into the single query. And now let me select this and hit execute. So here we guys can see the ranking from largest to smallest. And here we guys can see the percent rank. And now guys, let me show you one example so that you guys can easily understand how this percent rank calculate. So here under this example guys, you can clearly see how this percent rank will work. So this is the formula guys, rank minus 1 divide total rows minus 1. And here I have made the explanation. Suppose if you take rank 3. So as per the formula guys, 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. And the total number rows are 59. So 59 minus 1 is equal to 58. The result would be this 2 divided by 58, which is 0.034 and so on. So in this way, percent rank will work. Rank minus 1 divide total number of rows minus 1. So let's check with this rank 3. And now guys, let's understand with the same example. Let's suppose our rank is 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. And the total number of rows are 59. That means 59 minus 1, 58. So let's divide this 2 with 58. So I'll simply put it 2 divided by 58. So the answer would be 0.0344827 and so on. You guys can see the same result. So in this way, the whole percent rank will work. This is the calculation guys which you need to keep in mind. So for such kind of detailed learning guys, stay connected with us and kindly support this channel. And those who are new to this channel, kindly hit the like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to press this bell icon guys, else you will miss an update. And those who wants to learn Power BI or SQL from scratch, so you guys can follow this free YouTube channel which name is Analytics Pro. And if you scroll it down guys, so here you guys can see we have a full course Power BI playlist where I have explained each and every concept about Power BI in detail. And if you click here on this playlist button guys, so you guys will get to see multiple playlists are here. This is the Power BI full course playlist and these are the advanced concepts of Power BI where you guys can take the knowledge of advanced concepts of Power BI. And we have this Power BI with SQL playlist where you guys can learn all the concepts of SQL from scratch. So you guys can start your SQL journey with this free YouTube channel. And along with that guys, we have this visualization playlist and we have this DAX expression playlist where we have covered most of the DAX functions from scratch which are majorly used in your projects. And here under this playlist, I am also trying to cover all the differences of DAX functions which is majorly asked in an interviews. And very soon guys, I will add some more playlists so that you guys can take better understanding of the analytical skills. And for the job seekers guys, we have this free Telegram group where I'm keep posting latest Power BI jobs opening, as well as you will also find some latest interview question and answers which recently asked by an interviewer. So you don't need to pay anything to anyone. But those who are looking only live sessions, so we guys also conduct live training and sessions where we prepare candidates from scratch till intermediate level with some scenarios, real-time projects, assignments, notes and so on. And we also provide placement assistance with the help of WhatsApp group where you will get to see some HR emails, contact number and so on. And you guys can also follow us on Insta as well as Facebook. So all the links I will share under the description box. You guys can follow us there. So for free learners guys, you guys can follow this Analytics Pro, and for the live training and sessions, you guys can connect me any of the platform. Thank you so much guys for your more love and support. Keep learning and keep growing. Thank you so much.